Hello again. A different shirt, a long sleeve. Look, I have sleeves. My arms didn't rip the sleeves off. Okay, last night in Austin. I went to a comedy show last night. I'm really excited to tell you about one thing that just happened. And it's not exciting, actually, at all. It's upsetting, very upsetting, but that's why I'm excited. It's because I have something to talk about. I went on a hike today. Let me tell you about the comedy. I don't care about the comedy. The hike today, I just kind of meandered around. I just drove around town, and honestly, the best part of my trip was talking on the phone to this girl that I'm not dating. Where she means nothing to me, and um, we just got in a fight. That's spoiler alert. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so um, I was just driving around. I ended up talking to. I went to a shop. I'll just tell you how funny life is. I was driving around yesterday just to get a feel for how this place is. You know, just driving. I had no direction. I didn't have a specific. I just pressed the gas, and then sometimes I, on accident, was in a right turning lane or a left turning lane. I just went, and then I see a shop that has like nice cars in front of it. And I was like, let me see if they need my services. And I had heard of this shop. I emailed them last week. I was like, what are the odds? I just stumbled upon it. Left my number yesterday. The guy said, called me at the end of the day. He said, we might be able to work together. Come by. So I came by, and then he gave me suggestions. He's like, Ferrari and Lamborghini are right here, and it's the same owner. And I hear they do like mods. I was like, it's hard to get that type of work, but I'll stop by. And the Ferrari guy, I don't know, I just put my foot in my mouth immediately. He's like, are you like looking for someone? I was like, immediately, like, my name's Matt. How you doing? He's like, who are you looking for? I was like, I started wrong. I'm sorry. He's like, oh yeah, leave a business card, and we'll get back to you, and we'll add you to the system. If we need something, we'll let you know. And I was like, I don't have one. I didn't bring it because this was supposed to be a talk to myself trip, not a business trip. Um, and I just had new business cards mailed. Thanks, Steve. And thank God for Steve. Honestly, he's an angel. Now, I don't know why I say that under my breath and then I say the other things louder. Okay, so I went to Lamborghini after, and the door was locked, and it's also kind of small. You'd think Austin is growing and there's a lot of money, but um, the guy that opened the door, I was like, "Hey, I do ECU tuning," and his eyes lit up. He's like, "Oh, well, I was like, you should be talking to me because we do tunes for these cars." He's like, and I told him about the wheel fix that I developed. He's like, "You can fix that?" And then he's like, "Can you make cars these Huracans shoot flames?" I was like, "Motherfucker, that's all I do, bitch." I'm sorry for talking like this, but I'm clearly not where I want to be yet spiritually. So I'm gonna just burn it out, as my friend Bijan said. Not the one that you know, a different Bijan I met one time. He's a brahmacharian. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so I did work stuff, and honestly, just like wandered around afterwards. I was on the freeway, and I just paid attention to the signs in the world of where to go, and I ended up at some kind of oh fuck my reservation. I'll just skip it. Um, Park, hiking trail, Gloria's Creek, maybe something like that, and just did creek shit. I still hate how this thing autofocuses. Um, and I was talking on the phone with everybody, and then I had work stuff and blah blah blah. But it felt, I was sitting in nature, and I was thinking, I was on like, where the monkey shows Simba. I forgot the monkey's name. I don't care about Disney stuff, but like Pride Rock. I don't know why I remember the rock. No, that wasn't the rock that did it. Maybe it was. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I was on. I was sitting and I was in nature, and I was like, oh, I should record. And I was thinking, I have nothing to say. I don't know what's happened. Like, I could tell you about my work stuff, but I don't care that much about work stuff. And then this happened. What a gift. I mean, what a nightmare, but also a gift. It's literally my worst nightmare. Um, I don't care if you take that the wrong way. Fuck you. Okay, so we've been talking a lot. Now, yesterday when we were talking, she tells me, this girl, getting a work call. It's like, dude, if it's after hours, text me or wait till tomorrow. I don't live to work, sir. Um, she was on Instagram looking at someone that I was talking about, like one of my friends. So like for mental reference of like what they look like, and then said, "Oh, I have a lot of mutual friends. How do you know this guy that's a mutual friend?" I was like, "Yeah, my sister's. I think that's my sister's ex." And she's like, "Oh, I have a date with him." I was like, "You have a date with him? Not had? Have?" She's like, "Yeah, we planned it like 2 weeks ago." And I was like, "Okay, so like, I understand we're not anything. I understand I just came back into your life after blocking you for a couple months. I totally get it. But also, like, you get what you give. Like, just so, do you want me? Should I be dating? Is what I asked. Should I be dating? She's like, you can do whatever you want. I was like, would you be upset if I was on a date? And she's like, I'd go crazy. I'd go insane. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Women. How am I supposed to find out the secrets of the universe when this fucking bitch? Anyways, um, so I'm just like, we're talking back and forth, and then she's like, okay, it's getting heated. Like, let's take a break. I'm like, no, like, this is what happened last time. This is why we stopped talking. It's like, I don't want to separate, and then you're mad at me, and I'm mad at you. And then, in a, like, is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it 5 hours? Is it 5 days? Do we just, like, ignore each other from now on? What the fuck? Like, figure it out. So at the end of it, basically, she's like, okay, how about I cancel the date? She's still on dating apps and stuff, FYI. And like, she's very clear that she doesn't trust me, which fair enough. I brought that on myself. But also, like, this is also why I left. You know, like, I don't want to stay where I'm not wanted. Who am I competing with? It's like I deserve someone's full attention, and I'm either all in or all out in anything. It's like, I don't want to half-ass something. Like, if you want to be my friend, I'll be a great friend, but we can't talk about, getting married and having sex and stuff like this. Not saying that those things happen, not saying they didn't happen, but just like, you know what I mean? I don't talk to my girlfriends like that. Like, my friends are my friends, and girls that I'm romantically involved with are different. So, like, let's establish that. Like, if you're dating, then, like, I will adjust. It's fine. It's fine, because nothing can hurt me now. Look at me, I'm smiling. Fuck you. You can't hurt me. So I say fuck you as a term of endearment, honestly, because I love everybody. Anyways, I do love this girl. Like, not like like, not in love, but like, she's really she's really funny and intelligent, and that's the stuff that I liked. But I know that she's still early on in her story. She's 10 years younger than me. She's where she should be. If not, she's a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, I just, you know, started recently, so I'm nobody to judge, and it's not a judgment. But fuck me. Is it hard to, like, resist the temptation of just, when someone says fuck you, you want to be like, no, fuck you. You don't understand. Fuck you way harder. You know what I mean? Like, I'll ignore you. It's like, I can see what's going to happen. Okay, so I digress. So we're having a great time talking. And it's weird. Obviously, I love the sound of my own voice. I actually don't. I hate it. Um, but that was a hint that I'm a narcissist. But I'm trying to decide, like, can a narcissist joke about this? Am I a narcissist? I suppose a narcissist would never consider it, right? My therapist said no, but I think she might be one. Is everybody? Are we all fucked? Okay. Um, I don't want to say her name because I don't want anyone to have any judgment of her, but this is like a personal thing. So I want to tell the story because that's what this is about. I don't want to talk about fake shit. I want to talk about real shit, and this is real. Okay, so we're talking, have a good time, and what I like about her is she's clever. What she likes about me is I'm clever, and usually those types of people, there's kind of like inappropriate jokes. Like, that's what she likes about me. And it's what I like about her. It's like she's witty, and she's, saying the wrong thing is the funniest thing, usually. Like, take Louis C.K., like, watch any of his stuff. Like, the stuff he said about his own children, like, somehow he's a great father, yet he says outlandish things about, like, liking one more than the other or whatever. It's just joking. I hope. Maybe he's just telling on himself. But it's funny, and it's relatable. Because I'm sure every parent secretly has, like, they can't say it, but, like, one's an asshole all the time. And you have to love that one too, because it's still you, and you're a narcissist. Everybody is. Just from now on, everybody, fuck you. I declared. Okay, so what happens is we're saying something back and forth, and she says, I swear on my dad's life. And I said, you don't even like your dad. And then I was like, uh-oh. Immediately, uh-oh. Now, obviously, is that a good thing to say? No. As a spiritual person, no. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm supposed to lose my sense of humor. Like, this girl would have no interest in me if I was just like, oh yeah, we should be, you know what I mean? And also, it's just not my personality. I don't know how much of myself I am supposed to lose to gain enlightenment. Because I think I heard stuff about the Buddha being funny. I should look into it. I'm missing dinner for this, but I think this is way more important to me. This is why I'm here. Dinner, who cares? I'll eat tomorrow. Okay, so obviously, like, you could hear a pin drop, and then she's like, don't ever, like, immediately, right? And it's like, oh, fuck, like, okay. Obviously, I have to apologize. Apologize immediately. It's like I said, I'm sorry. Won't happen again. And then she calmed down a little bit long enough to finish the conversation that said, I'm going to go take a nap. So that, like, rule I have of not separating in anger and then letting it stir, now that rule has been broken. I didn't enforce it, to be fair. I, like, felt like, okay, well, if you need, if you don't want to talk it out, it's fine. And then I texted her. I said, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. And I put a heart. And I was just running, like, if you're just spitballing, sometimes, look what happened to Kramer. Should we kill him now? Seinfeld's not funny now? I never thought it was funny, to be honest. Especially his character. It didn't make any sense to me. What the fuck is that? Anyways. Rooster hair. Anyways. I was sitting here thinking, like, okay, let her cool off. It's fine. But here's the thing is that I'm empath, and I know that I hurt somebody, so now I'm hurt. Like, oh, fuck, like, how do I fix it? And of course, it's not up to me to fix, because she told me my words have power over her. She just decided arbitrarily that I said a certain sequence of words that are unforgivable for a certain amount of time, so now I'm in prison for a time determined by her. And obviously, this has been my interaction with every single woman in my entire life. And it's just how much power do I give them to do this to me? Because what I mean by that is I don't want to fight. I want to be high vibration all day, as much as I can. It's already hard enough with the shit going on in my head. Now I got to battle the shit in your head. Bitch, I have enough on my plate. And I mean bitch as a term of endearment. Now, what I'm saying is that the aggregate of your day, the things that you focus on, if they're positive or negative, determines your reality. It determines your ability to manifest money, like love, you name it, whatever it is that you want. Whatever you want. Now, she decided I said something that now she's, like, laying in bed and, like, upset at me. So, like, the person she likes maybe the most out of the guys that she's talking to, hopefully, I don't know. And now she's not talking to me, and she's upset, and she's decided her night is going to be bad now. because I said the wrong words. I've said this before. It's like, I will say dumb shit. I will continue to say dumb shit. I'm really like, that's just who I am. It's to you take a risk when you're trying to be funny, and when you're witty, it's the first thing that comes. You know what I mean? It's like improv. Yes, and then I've like, you know what I mean? There's no established prerequisite for every person. Like, these are the things that are okay. These are because we've said like horrific things that make each other laugh. Things that if you put it in print, like, you get canceled. Of course, in jest. But this was a trigger for her, which I understand. It's like, okay, I triggered you. I understand. I apologize. I don't have a time machine. I can't take it back. Like, basically, like, however long you want to be mad is up to you. And she's like, I wish you didn't say that last part, but you're you. And I was like, yes, I am fucking me. That's true. But I'm right. Like, why do I have a prison sentence now? You see, I don't like giving people power over me. So in order to not give her power, obviously, I'm just going to have a good night anyway. So I'm going to go out to dinner at a nice steakhouse and have an irresponsible amount of protein. And, how long am I supposed to feel bad that I said the wrong thing? Because in my mind, I replay every dumb thing I've said since I've been making memories. The time that when someone said, enjoy your food, and I said, you too, these things just live in my head rent free. And then I tried to learn math in school, and it didn't stick. I'm like, do you remember when you called that lady mommy in the library, and she wasn't your mom? Kill me now. So, this is like, so I was talking about forgiveness. How appropriate. Like, what the fuck? Like, I knew that thought wasn't done. I fucking knew it. Like, what about, I thought I like over and over again have been wanting for a month to talk about forgiveness. I had so many false starts. And then now look, here is the thing. So now she's deciding, who is this? A Teller Motor. Okay, well, I'm going to be in trouble later. I have to answer that eventually, but not right now. Fuck off. I'm thinking. What was I talking about? Forgiveness. You motherfucker. Okay, so I knew that I wasn't done thinking about forgiveness and there was more. So now I said it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die when you don't forgive. And now look what she's doing. And this is what I'm talking about. Now everything's a spiritual lesson. I've been seeing 777 constantly, so I knew a lesson was coming. Now, in my heart of hearts, anyone that I'm maybe romantically involved with, I think, is this it? But I also think, is this a lesson? Because everything is. Everything necessarily is. In a universe where anything has ever, ever, ever happened for a reason in your life, anything ever, it means everything necessarily has happened for a reason. Even that. Yeah, fuck you, that too. And that. Everything happens for a reason. So, I reached out to this girl to establish a connection and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, when things got rocky, I was like, okay, fuck this. I don't have time for this. I'm trying to find God. Fuck you, lady. I don't have time for your bullshit. And then Gmail isn't responding. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? I hate this phone. I'm cussing a lot. I really need to calm down. Okay, so I blocked her. She might have had a good reason to be yelling at me, but also fucking what do you mean good reason? Fuck off. Don't yell at me. I'm not a child. I'm not in trouble. I can't get in trouble. Either like you can execute me, put me in jail, otherwise fuck off. Don't tell me about it. Like if it's not that bad, obviously. Because my intentions are good is what I mean. Obviously, if I'm being an asshole and like shanking people or whatever, like by all means. But if my intentions are good and I said the wrong thing, how long do you want to suffer? And how long do you want me to suffer? That's rude. Why are you sharing it? Keep it to yourself. Some things you should. Now here's the thing, empath. My immediate thing is like I right down to where where I took her, I met her, and then I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, I need to like close my eyes and breathe. Like my breath was really shallow, and I was like, I have to remember to breathe. When I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, like fuck, and then this is just how I lived my life for so long because everybody does this shit to me. Now, I decided obviously I'm gonna have a good time or whatever. I'm gonna live my life. And then as I was taking a shower to get ready for dinner, I'm like thinking about this. Like even through the text message, like she just like, I don't want to talk to you. And it's like it's always like when a woman is like obviously when anyone's triggered, you're just thinking emotionally. But I have like there's a line that you don't cross as far as like if you say don't ever talk to me again, like I'll leave. That's like it's like an easy decision. I don't want to be anywhere that I'm not wanted. I've got plenty of stuff to do. I promise. I got to talk to myself in a black mirror. So, I like this girl a lot. Is she the one? Like this is the problem. This is I would say the main problem is I'm not going to live a life where I'm emotionally held hostage by anybody. I'd rather be alone. I promise. It's just not. So obviously, like, it can roll off my shoulders, but then she's still where she's at, and I saved myself. And how much self-preservation am I supposed to do? And if I believe I'm supposed to be an angel on earth, what is it that I'm supposed to do here? Am I supposed to? Because I don't want to suffer. I've suffered enough. But when other people are suffering, how do you not? I could have easily never talked to her again. But in the back of my mind, I still, my heart goes out to her. I know why she's upset. I know why she's the way she is. And I don't think it's her fault. But she's an adult. It's her responsibility, just like it was mine. It wasn't my fault what happened to me when I was a kid. And I want to thank God I did this stuff now and not when I was younger, because I would have said the nastiest shit about the people I loved the most while I was working stuff out. And it's like, it's a hard thing to forgive. That's a very hard one to forgive, is when people say things that you didn't like. I held on to, I don't want to say it. There's something that my parents both said to me when I was little that I made my identity. And I'll tell you how it made me feel. It made me feel like, I'm not going to cry, I'm not a bitch. But it almost happened. Oliver Twist, the 1969 musical, was my favorite movie because I felt like him. I felt like I was an orphan. I felt like I was in the wrong family. I'm not going to do it. Fuck you. And anything they did nice, anything they did for me, anything that they did to show their love in the way that they knew how, I didn't accept. And I didn't forgive. Until recently, I'm fucking 38. It's obviously still tough. But I feel stupid for having resentment. Like, obviously, they just move on with their day-to-day stuff. They're like not knowing I'm dying inside. And I carried that with me everywhere I went. Work, friendship, relationships, everything. I was suffering because of my unforgiveness. And that is the main fucking point. That's the main point. I was deciding every day to make my identity the one thing they said or did. There's a lot of things, honestly. There's just a few things I hold on to dearly. But that's my point, I guess. And I think everybody in this fucking world is in my old state. you know? When I heard my ex's pastor father talk about how he's in his 60s and he recently forgave his father, just by how he was talking, I know he didn't do it. You know, spiritual bypassing. He hasn't emotionally released it yet. He knows that he has to, and just like I knew, this is the shitty thing. You know, you can't be mad at your parents or anyone else for not knowing what they don't know. But I guess that's the purpose of this. That is why I'm doing this. I've been trying to figure this out and trying to help people, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know the magic words to heal people's pain. I don't know a lot of things, honestly, but the way forgiveness and like knowing that I can't, like, I'm not mad at this girl for being mad at me. How can I be? But also, like, it honestly makes me immediately be like, okay, this isn't it, and I'm ready to walk away. Not that I'm going to, like, I don't know yet. I suppose it depends on her, and I don't know if this spiritual lesson is to teach me patience, if it's to make me figure this out. Doesn't mean she's my person, but definitely now I see why there was an attraction. It's like, oh fuck, I wouldn't have this realization. I mean, I've had the realization, I wouldn't be able to verbalize it. I haven't properly digested, and I'm digesting it now. So this spark, this fire, she's an Aries, and fuck me, I've had enough. God of War, fuck off. Honestly, you don't have to ride it so hard. What the fuck? Can you relax, please? I'm tired of fighting, honestly. Honestly, God. It's like, can I just find someone who's done the work and just like have peace? Is that okay? It takes so much out of me to fight. It takes so much out of me because I spent my whole life in that feeling. The feeling I had immediately when she was mad at me and I knew I was going to be held hostage to her emotions. Because people you hate don't have power over you. You can give them power, but people you love have the ability to hurt you profoundly. And like, I've had weird, like, people I trusted and loved, like, weirdly and viciously manipulate and use me and discard me. Like, very strange, like self-destructive behavior. And then, like, it's not like they ended up sitting on gold toilets or something. Their lives turned to shit. It's like, what did you do this for? Where did you get? Not saying not this girl, or at least not yet. I know I can't get there, but I'm just saying that people you care for, you don't want to be in pain. And then when someone expresses that you hurt them, like, if I was a narcissist, it would be easy. Like, okay, your problem, fuck you. I'm going to go out and get laid. You do some coke off the bathroom toilet for some reason, or a key. I don't know what you do. And then have a threesome with like an okay girl and a fat girl, but it counts because it's 3. Like 2 5s is a 10. Was that too far? But this is like those types of things. That's what the girl likes. And then if I got a weird text, if you're starting to not recognize the patterns, what is it talking about? From a number I don't know. I can't wait to see what that's about. But I have to finish this thought. How exciting to read whatever that is. How daunting as well. the fuck was that? Well, here's the thing. I can only, every time I lose my path, I can only be hurt for so long. And I find my way back. And if it's all a simulation, if it's all a test, if it's all for nothing, I'm getting better at it. In the sense I don't live in fear. I'm not afraid of people hurting me. I just don't allow people to have the power to hurt me. I know too much. But forgiveness is like, that is the hardest thing, the absolute hardest thing. And I hope people forgive me. I talk about like energy vampires and people being the devil, but like I know I have been too. And I hope people forgive me. And like I said in the last one, you're judged by the universe as harshly as you judge others. And another thing I wanted to say is what you are is what you've been able to let go of. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before. But this is I thought the text that I got was something about pattern recognition in my life, like somehow I'm being taunted by someone, like James Bond is a evil nemesis, and then I realized it's a work thing. Recognizing a pattern. I was like, if you're not recognizing a pattern, what? Is someone engineering my misery? I mean, yes, it's me, obviously, but it's a work thing. There's a Lamborghini I have to fix. Or try to help fix. It's not my problem. Not my clown and not my circus. Okay, I'll continue. I'm not going to end this yet. This girl is amazing. And honestly, every girl that has gotten my attention, I'm not perfect. And it probably takes a special person to see what's the light in me, I'm not a very approachable person. I think people assume because I'm well groomed that gay dudes hit on me all the time. I don't walk around with an approachable demeanor. I'm not open. I'm closed. It's like, we're closed for business, fuck off. I know enough people, fuck off. Unless there's a problem, leave me alone. I wish I was joking, but that's from the result of my trauma. I am what I've been able to let go of, and clearly it hasn't been enough. So funny. Life is funny. Okay, so this girl, like, so sweet. She's got a big heart, and she's very wounded. And life has been harsh to her. Like, before she could defend herself, and like, of course, you have the thought, why would God let this happen? That's like the big one, right? Look at the wars in the world. Why does God let this happen? Obviously, there's no God. It's like, well, Alan Watts said, we are the gods. So we create it. If you, hypothetically, if you believe in reincarnation instead of hell, a permanent damnation, it means that if I took an ice pick to my neck and opened a vein or whatever, I get reincarnated and I have the same life tests the next time. And you can keep killing yourself, and you'll keep starting over at the same level. And the more evil you do in this world, the more you have to repent for. Because on a micro level, microcosmic level, so I'm assuming the macro, as above, so below, as within, so without. So at a micro level, I can see when I do bad things, how it comes back, how I do good things, how it comes back. I can see that there's a pattern in the universe. If you're that text message says something about patterns, right? There's a pattern in the universe I've been able to decipher or notice enough that it's not an anomaly. Anyone who's aware of synchronicities knows this. I know it's invisible to most people, but if you're on the path, it's undeniable. If you're on the path, it's because you know there's no other truth. And you can see what people see, and you see what they don't see, or what they're unable to see. Their consciousness is locked in a lower state. Their awareness isn't there. So like, I know what you know, but I'm saying I see something more. And you sound like you're speaking Greek. You sound like an insane person. But there's books about it throughout history. So fuck off. It's you. You're wrong. How without learning anything are you smarter than me? Fuck off. Most people don't pick up a book after school. Isn't that weird? Like, you know everything already? And that's why, like, look at how crazy it is outside. Look at also, like, how medicated everybody is. No one can hold it. Well, no one is responsible for their own emotions. It's external. I'm responsible for my not girlfriend's emotions. I'm responsible for, like, random people who want me to affirm their identities. Like, what the fuck? Like, can I just be responsible for myself? Can we all just do that? And then, like, leave everybody else alone? Can we start at that as, like, a human right? First law of the universe is fuck off, leave everyone alone. It's like, you can believe whatever you want, don't enforce it on others. That's like solves every problem. Solves every problem immediately. It's like, as long as you're not hurting someone else, shut the fuck up, bitch. And I mean physical harm. Obviously, like, you have to, even though people say fucked up things all the time, you have to protect it. You have to protect the craziest people in a smart way instead of protect them in the dumbest way, which is happening now. Forgiveness. Sometimes I watch these and I like, because I've never noticed like the texture of my skin is interesting. Like, I look young and then I smile and it's people are like, oh, you're old. It's like, yeah, fuck. It's the stress that you motherfuckers are putting on me, that I allowed you motherfuckers to put on me. No more. I'm not fucking taking it. Anyways, I like this girl a lot, and if tonight's the last night I ever talk to her, it's fine. I like her as a person, and I wish the best for her. And if I'm not the right match for her, of course, like, it's interesting. She popped up. This is interesting, and it's probably why she was in my subconscious mind. I went to like a game night with my friends, and one of my friends like, I don't know if he said I'm in love or I'm getting married soon. I'm like, oh yeah, and he shows me his phone. It's a picture of her on a dating app, and I was like, that he just matched with. I was like, that's the last girl I dated. He's like, no, tell me everything. He was like hoping that this was the one. I was like, honestly, it's okay. Like, I don't have that thing, like, bro code, bro. It's like, if I'm not with someone, even if I was in love with them, it's like, if they're not my person and I decided that, I don't own them. It doesn't matter that I met them first. Live your life. It's such a weird thing that people are like, no, that's mine. And everyone's like, no, it's like when we reconnected, she unmatched with him. She didn't delete her dating profile. She just unmatched with my friend. It's like, she's like, he's a good friend. He didn't respond to my last message. I'm like, well, that doesn't. There's a bigger problem here, is that we're talking romantically, and I can only do that with one person at a time. I don't have the ability to split my focus. I'd be an asshole to one. I can't fake it. And it's not that I'm fickle, but it looks that way. It's just I very much protect my energy. I know how important it is, and I know how much it fucks me up because my entire life, like, I have been given the gift. I can make whatever the fuck I want to happen in this world if I keep this clean. And I've just allowed people to take me off track. Come this way. Follow me here. This is where love is. This is what love looks like. This is what I need from you. So, in this situation with this lovely woman, young lady, there's my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do or say to get her out of her mood. She's entitled to feel however she wants to feel. But I'm also like, I want to fix it. I don't want her to feel bad. But she's making a decision to not forgive me until she takes a nap, until she has a Snickers bar, until fucking who knows what. Jesus comes back. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, she says she's logical, she's thinking with her mind, and that's why she hasn't deleted her apps. It's like she canceled a date for me, but I like, understandable to be in a gray area when I haven't earned trust, but it goes both ways, and there's a reason I walked away into it. Make believe there wasn't a good reason, because it wasn't one thing. Like, she keeps saying you're going to see 666 and think I'm a demon and leave. It's like, no, it's everything that you did that made me think that there's not, like, I can't fix you. I'm not trying to fix anybody. But if you can't see that this is broken and this exists whether I'm in the equation or not, so what am I supposed to do? This existed before, it will exist after. Is this not my clown, not my circus? I'm out of here. Protect my energy. I have things to create and things to do and be. Can I help? Is this another, like, test? Obviously it's a test. Look at this. It's a good one. It's a fucking good one. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Not that I can predict what's going to happen, but the reason I walked away is because I could see that, when someone's more committed to being right in an argument or committed to their feelings rather than the relationship or rather than being happy, you are fighting a losing battle. And I've been alive long enough to know some people you will never win. And it doesn't matter how many times you give up the fight and let them win each battle. The goalpost keeps moving because the problem is inside. The problem is inside, not outside. Because when you're good inside, nothing can really fuck with you on the outside. She's like afraid that I don't care because she knows I won't crumble if we stop talking. And I'm sure most guys are simping over her. Most guys are just simps anyways these days. And the funny thing is, we talked 2 years ago, and I was like anxious at the time. I liked, like, our banter. I saw that I was like, there's something here. And then she was put off by my, like, anxiousness. She faked having COVID, actually. And then this time around, like, I saw the signs of how things would be before they actually got there. Then when they're there, I'm like, okay, so is this confirmation bias? Did I expect it? So it is. It's like, no, I'm just seeing obvious things, obvious telltale signs. I can read people well because I can read myself well. And then she isn't in control. And all I can do is control my peace. If I cannot control someone else's feelings, I'd love to. I'd love to snap my fingers and make everybody in this world happy. I'd love to say the magic words, whisper in everyone's ear that they're loved and they're enough and they're, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck. Like whatever God would say. You know what God would say if he could whisper to say? It's like, they're right and you're wrong. If everyone actually heard the voice of God say that, no, they're right, you're wrong, immediately, that would humble every asshole in the fucking world. And that's what we need. Every idiot ordering wars. No, they're right, you're wrong. Sometimes you're an asshole too. And I forgive you. Imagine if you think like it's hell or worse no matter what, because those are your options. That's what America teaches you. It's hell or worse. This. But I know that this is just whether it's a simulation or whatever you want to call it, you can make whatever you want happen. You can create your own reality. If you ignore the news, if you didn't know, here's the thing is, during COVID, when everyone was terrified and saying, I was in Mexico with my girlfriend at the time, and everyone's like, oh, you better come back, they're going to close the borders and all this shit. I'm like, I'm in paradise. Come back to closed everything? Fuck off. Like, I'll just stay here. You'll get stuck there. It's like, that's fine. I'll get stuck here. Neat. That would be cool. Would have been cooler, actually. No, come back and stay at home and be afraid with us. It's like, fucking, I'd rather die like this. You can die in your house being afraid to fucking go outside and not have toilet paper or whatever the fuck. Just buy a bidet also. What the fuck's wrong with you? If you stepped in shit, would you ever just wipe it 3 times and then just go out with your day with a fucking mud butt? You need water. At least. But fucking this generation, they want to use their tongues or nothing. It's so weird. Anyways, dear God. So many tangents. Anyways, at the time, I just like, you know what my reaction was is prepare. So I bought like survival food for months and all this shit. And you know, I got a gun during that time. I was like, anyone fucks with me, I'm putting, they'll turn to Swiss cheese. And I prepared for the worst, but hoped for the best. And I also just lived my life. You know what happened during COVID is they said I'm not going to have a job anymore. So I applied for unemployment and I applied for one of those loans. And then after like a month of no work, my work continued. So I just didn't take those things. And everyone around me was like, well, it's free money. Why wouldn't you do it? Like people far wealthier than me. It's like, well, it's not for me. That was probably a spiritual test too. I bet the government knows about this shit. Those motherfuckers. So you took a loan you don't need, and then you think you got free money, and then Uncle Sam crawls up your asshole with the microscope looking for that money. Good job. So COVID, I basically had 3 months where I had no work. Like nothing was happening, everything's closed. And used that time to have fun, vacation, do whatever I wanted. There was no traffic on the freeway. First time in my life, no traffic. I made more money than I had ever made. I was spending more money than I ever have. I was having the most fun I've ever had. I started doing drugs also, sorry. I thought the world was ending. And I didn't believe in God. So, I'm telling you, like, even 5 years ago, me, if you ever said I'd be a spiritual person and have ever tried drugs, I was hard no to both. It's like there's no fucking way I would ever do either of those things. I'm too smart to believe in God, too smart to do drugs. I think pharmaceutical drugs are drugs. I think something that grows from the ground, like, you know, maybe up for interpretation at least. Plant medicine, maybe. That's neither here nor there. I don't want to alter my vibration in any way. So I don't want to take medicine. I don't want to take nothing. But my point was, if I had never heard of COVID during that time, because I acted like it didn't exist, I had the best time. The people that were sure this is going to lead to the New World Order and vaccine passports, and it's permanent, and Klaus Schwab saying it'll never return back to normal. I was like, oh, now in retrospect, I'm like, oh, this, then the war immediately, and no more talk of COVID. I was like, oh, the idea is to scare you for economic benefit. They benefit from us being scared and being manipulated and hating each other, and you make stupid decisions with your money. You make stupid decisions with love. You feel desperate. You feel horny. Porn went up. Like almost 40% of internet traffic is porn. Internet traffic. That's fucking nuts. You're talking to a brahmachari proud. And I can't imagine doing it again. And really the only way is to not have it on your mind. There's no way you can be on the internet with Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It's like the most beautiful women you've ever seen. It's like, where are these women? And then you find out they never look like that. It's just filters. It doesn't, not even real. Have you ever seen the Hot and Crazy Index? It's like the fuck around and find out index. I'm tired of finding out, and I'm tired of fucking around. I just want peace, please. Can everybody just forgive? You don't have to forget, but if you can actually forgive, it's fine. Everything will work out. So I lived my life. I learned during COVID. It was the happiest time of my life. And I've been working back to that because I lost it. I didn't earn that high vibration I was in. And like without worrying about, I didn't worry about shit. Money, love, like whatever comes, comes. And I could make whatever. The thing is, when you're in that mode, everything comes to you. Bad things too. And it's up to your discernment. I was just talking to my friend Amber, actually. And she was talking about, she's grown a lot. She has a black eye. She said she was at the gym and saw a guy with a black eye and assumed he's a bad guy, and then said, you're being judgmental, don't be judgmental, and then got herself one. So I guess she doesn't know how to shut up. That was a domestic violence joke. I was just kidding. She was skiing and hurt herself. But then we were talking about, like, she was in a relationship with a guy who was like her, who was anxious, who was giving her everything. And I was like, yeah, you, Amber, had an Amber. Like, you know what it's like now. Like, you can settle for this and be like, yeah, it's not these things that I want, but he has, at least is treating me well. And also you get a break. You get to see what standard you should have about being treated. Usually the people you don't want to be with treat you the best. It's usually the people that you're not that attracted to do the most for you. And you're just like, fuck, I wish I could. I can't. Some people, most people, a lot of people I know, some people I've met, I've heard of, do settle. I'm like, these things, yes, these things, no, but I'll make the best out of it. Women can convince themselves to love anything. Like, what the fuck is a pug? Have you seen its skeleton? It's horrific. A comedian was on stage yesterday and said vaginas look like predator lips. Anyways, somehow that has to do with forgiveness. Almost at an hour. I think I got everything out. More about Amber. So she was talking about, I was saying, you remember when you were in that high vibration and you got your gym crush? She's like, yeah, but he wasn't my vibration. He's lower and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, when you're high vibration, you attract everything. It's up to your discernment to decide what's high vibration or not. Because when you're high vibration, good and bad comes to you. I've experienced that many times. Is right now that time? Am I ever out of that? I don't know. It's retrospect usually that you're like, oh, it was clear. Like, that's why purpose of journaling, because it's in here, whatever I'm supposed to know. Somehow the universe is inside here and I'm trying to get it out. What do you know that I don't know? Me, you, me. like that Rush Hour joke that was redundant. It's not funny. Vaginas being predator lips was funny. You smiled, fuck you. Yeah, and I've had this. Okay, so Amber was saying this guy wasn't. It was a matter of you settled. Because he wasn't able to treat her how she wanted to be treated, and when she wasn't getting the minimum effort, she should have fucked off, walked away. But she was attracted to the idea of him. And we all do that. We choose a person and we make them something, and then when they fall short of that, we're upset, and we try to make them that. We try to no, be what I thought you were. Be what I thought you were, and you never told me that you were. Be what I imagined you to be, instead of what you are, or else I'm gonna be fucking mad. We do it to ourselves. So this girl's doing it to herself, and if I was in front of her, I'd hug her. That's what I want to do. I'm in a different state. And at a certain amount of effort, if explaining things like this, if being in my high vibration and trying to teach and whatever, or share that, if my love can't fix, if my love can't promote or cause growth, perhaps the purpose of this was for me to leave, to cause her growth, which would be shitty. I don't want to be someone's bottom. Yeah, or that either, honestly. I don't want to be the reason someone has a meltdown, but I could see how that could be. What a horrific realization. I'm sure I have been many times, actually. I'm just the karmic energy coming to teach tough lessons. I don't know what to do about that. Imagine that. Imagine, if I hurt this person, they'll grow into the person they're meant to be. Or, solve a lifelong problem for them. Because I know how much it hurts. I've been in this situation with my sister, too. I didn't have a high opinion of her husband, but frankly, we all are with who we deserve and who we need at the time. I should have said need, sorry. But she doesn't know what she doesn't know. And just because I, feel enlightened doesn't mean I know anything as fact. We're all just experiencing our projection of the world. Mine's fucking weird, man. Mine is weird. I don't want to hurt this girl. I don't hurt anybody, but I really don't want to hurt this girl. Too late, looks like. She's so deserving of love, and she said she's never been in love, and she feels numb. And these are the things that's fuck, it's a hard thing to get over, dude. That's a hard thing to fix. It's I don't know, even if I stick around for the rest of my life, I don't know if I could fix that. It's not up to me, it's up to her. I feel helpless. That's how I felt as a kid. I felt alone and helpless. Now when I'm alone as an adult, as a awakened adult, I never feel lonely. I only feel lonely when a person I love ignores me or is mad at me. It's the only time it happens. And I've never felt more alone. I felt like I'm in space, like lost in the ocean when you see the ship past the horizon, and you know it's over. It's like it's just you and the sharks now, in darkness, infinite darkness. Space is one step worse. It's like there's nothing can possibly pop up. You're not gonna be saved by a fucking random turtle like Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, you're fucked. That's what it feels like. Lost in space, which I guess we are, really. Wow, that wasn't a good way to end it. Anyways, it's all over.